Have you wondered what's really happening behind the scenes at medical schools? Sure, we know about the white coats and the long nights, but there are some shocking facts and statistics that might change the way you view these institutions forever. Stay with me, because today we're going to be diving into some mind-blowing facts about medical schools that you probably did not know. Welcome back to my channel, Montu Med. I'm currently a third year medical student, and today hopefully I'll be revealing some things about medical schools you did not know, and let's get right into it. Let's start with something surprising. Did you know that the acceptance rates for medical schools in the US hover around just 5.9%? That's right. If you take every single medical school in the US and average each school's acceptance rates, it averages out to 5.9%. But what's even more fascinating is the distribution of the students across the different schools. For example, in 2023, the medical school that had the highest number of applications wasn't Harvard or Stanford that you might be guessing. It was actually UCLA School of Medicine with over 14,000 applications. And once these students are in, medical students face a very rigorous journey. Did you know that the average debt for a graduating medical student in the US is a whopping $202,000? It's like buying a house. You might not even get that nowadays, but like that's still massive. And medical students get paid essentially less than minimum wage during residency if you count out the hours that they're working. But that's a whole nother video. Let's go right into the next fact. Yet, despite these challenges, med school grads often secure some of the highest paying jobs in the country. That may be a little misleading. The average salary for a primary care physician is under $250,000, while specialists can earn upwards of an average of $344,000. Unfortunately, as in many other fields of work, there is a gender gap that has slightly gotten better over the years, but there's still room to improve there. Here's something else that might be surprising for you. Nearly 60% of the US medical students here report symptoms of burnout before even graduating medical school. Having to take one of the most stressful exams in your life, the MCAT, having to spend thousands of dollars on the medical school application process, including primaries, secondaries, interviews, and not even getting in potentially. On top of that, when you get in, it doesn't get easier. It's like working and studying for the MCAT intensity every day throughout medical school to prepare for an exam called Step 1 or Level 1 that might determine whether you can even enter rotations. And if you don't pass these exams or don't do well in these exams, you might not be even able to match into residency, which is potentially your first job out of medical school, becoming a doctor in training. So you can see it is quite stressful, and you can probably make sense of the burnout rates that you're seeing with the shortage of physicians, the work hours. This is something we're definitely hoping to improve over the years. There's definitely been movements, but that'll be a whole nother video. If you guys have any comments on this, share them down in the comments below. Let's switch topics a little bit. Let's talk about diversity in medicine. While diversity has improved in recent years, Black and Hispanic students are still significantly underrepresented in medical schools. In 2023, only 9.3% of medical students identified as Black or African American, and just 6.2% identified as Hispanic or Latino, according to AAMC. Here's a fact that might give you a glimmer of hope. The number of women in medical school has actually surpassed men for the fifth consecutive year, making up 55% of the medical student body in 2024. For example, schools like Emory in Atlanta have a distribution of almost 70-30 split, with 70% being women and 30% being men for the entering class, according to MSAR. But did you know that these same medical schools are also powerhouses of research and innovation? In 2023 alone, US medical schools accounted for over $40 billion in research funding, more than any other academic sector, according to NIH in 2024. If you were not aware, there are some degrees called MD PhDs or DO PhDs. Essentially, these are dual degree programs with 4 years of the regular medical training for a MD or DO, plus additional 4 years of PhD training. So that's another 8 years that you're looking at after your bachelor's and master's that these students are undergoing for a career revolving around research. One fact that you might not have known, a lot of the MD, PhD, and DO PhD programs are funded entirely by institution. So this is a way of saving on tuition, and you might even get a stipend for living during your years in the PhD program. Okay. And this is now very relevant in this time of age. If you think medical schools only focus on traditional medicine, think again. Many schools now are incorporating AI, genomics, telehealth into their curriculum. For example, in my own medical school, in my second year as a student, we had a speaker come in and talk about AI in medicine, and we had another speaker come in and talk about how we can utilize AI in research and some of the common pitfalls and how to avoid some of the mistakes that people do and get in trouble for that regarding research. So AI is not going to take over medicine. It's only there to supplement and facilitate better and more efficient outcomes for patients. In fact, 72% of US medical schools report offering courses that include AI in healthcare, according to AMA in 2024. Of course, not all of these statistics are encouraging. Rural communities face a big challenge. Only about 11% of medical students say that they want to practice in rural or underserved areas, despite the huge demand, according to American Academy of Family Physicians in 2023. That being said, there have been some positive improvements in that aspect. As, for example, there are residencies in the US in rural locations that are offering residents incentives for them to come train there with aspects of covering their medical debt and clearing that after a certain amount of time if they come practice in that rural setting. There's been a focus on addressing rural healthcare. It is a very hot topic. And there's definitely going to be more videos on my channel. So if you have not already done so, please consider subscribing and you'll get notified for future videos on topics like that on my channel. So why do these numbers matter? Because they highlight the incredible complexity of our medical school journey, from cutthroat competition to overwhelming debt to life-changing research and a critical push for diversity. Obviously, there are rooms for improvement and areas of concern, but I wanted to highlight some of the fun facts and statistics you might have not known about the current medical system here in the US and the medical schools here in the US. So if you found this video interesting, give it a like. And here's my challenge to you, viewers. If you're thinking about applying to medical school, don't be discouraged by the odds. Be inspired by what these numbers represent. They're a testament to the drive, the sacrifice, and the resilience of future doctors. It is a profession unlike any other, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to pursue this path as my career. Thank you again for sticking with me. If you found these as eye-opening as I did in my research, give it a like, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of medicine and healthcare. Let me know in the comments what shocked you the most. Until next time, it's been Montu Med. Take care.